We're bringing you exclusive updates straight from the epicenter of space exploration, SpaceX's Texas-based facility, Starbase. You'd be delighted to know that the pace hasn't slowed down a bit. In fact, it's been a hive of activity, buzzing with the ambitious development of the groundbreaking Starship rocket. With another launch on the horizon, Elon Musk has once again confirmed his unwavering commitment to his audacious plans. The countdown has begun for the rocket's launch, anticipated to be in about 2 months. Musk's consistent affirmation underscores SpaceX's resolve in making this monumental accomplishment a reality. The launch pad still presents significant challenges, but there's good news. SpaceX has recently implemented extensive upgrades to the water deluge system. In today's episode, we delve deeper into the upcoming second orbital test flight taking place at Starbase, Texas. Back in April, the first ever fully designed Starship rocket underwent testing. After a brief, yet tumultuous flight, it met its calculated demise due to a thrust shortfall. Although the specific cause remains under investigation, there was observed difficulty with Starship's detachment from the super heavy booster, which led to a dramatic pyrotechnic display over the Gulf of Mexico. Despite this spectacular mishap, SpaceX remains optimistic. Efforts are already underway to create a more successful successor to the Starship and devise a smoother separation strategy. Concurrently, they are also repairing the heavily impacted launch site. Interestingly, the resulting crater from the explosion proved useful for installing new equipment. Perhaps additional craters could be beneficial in the future. Let's take a glimpse into the current state of the water deluge system. This rendering was made possible by Ryan Hansen, depicting 3 manifolds under assembly, which suggests water inlets would be available on 3 sides of the structure. The large manifold comes equipped with an inlet of 5 feet, along with 18 connectors, meticulously welded into place. These connectors, or nipples as they are known, are split between the top and side, each fitted with tubes that connect to the structure's perimeter and base. To further enhance safety, shielding will be installed to protect the top row of tubes. The medium-sized manifold mirrors this arrangement, albeit with a 4-foot inlet angled downwards. The small manifold, on the other hand, houses a 3-foot pipe with 16 varying-sized inlet tubes. These tubes connect to the structure's exterior and are protected by uniquely shaped shielding. Upon close inspection, it's evident that the smaller manifold's design perfectly fits the dimensional limitations of its placement, the elbow welded at the end ideally directed. With its 5-foot pipe, the large manifold connects seamlessly to the remaining open side of the assembly. In fact, it aligns so perfectly, it negates the need for substantial modifications. As a result, only a minor section of piping would be needed to complete the connection. This alternating arrangement of the large and small manifolds supports the theory that every other edge will feature an inlet manifold. This leaves the north side of the assembly open for the placement of the medium manifold. These findings and depictions were made possible by the commendable efforts of Ryan Hansen, and for that we extend our heartfelt thanks. For all things Starbase, he's your go-to. Moving forward, we hope to see swift progress in finalizing the unique water deluge system. Could we see completion this month, or perhaps the next? We'd love to hear your predictions in the comments section below. All these preparations are, of course, for the next Starship launch. Many hurdles lie ahead, such as procuring another launch license from the FAA and potential legal proceedings. However, the construction of the next rocket isn't one of them. Starship 25 has already made its way to the launch site a few weeks ago. In position on one of the suborbital test stands, it has been undergoing a series of cryogenic fueling tests and is a strong candidate for the next flight-ready Starship. Booster 9 has also been stacked and now resides inside the high bay, with several other boosters and ships at different stages of assembly. The strategy of being hardware-rich during Starship's development has served SpaceX well, ensuring that a loss of one vehicle won't hamper their progress. This begs the question, is Musk's timeline feasible? It's difficult to say. This is SpaceX we're discussing, after all, known for their ability to accomplish monumental tasks in surprisingly short time frames. However, based on historical patterns, it's perhaps best not to plan a trip to Brownsville on the strength of a single tweet. In other news, with a cloak of secrecy pierced only by the roar of rocket engines, Rocket Lab successfully launched the first suborbital variant of its Electron rocket, aptly named the Hypersonic Accelerator Suborbital Test Electron, or HASTE, on June 17th. This successful mission lifted off from the Mid-Atlantic Regional Spaceport on Wallops Island, Virginia. 100% mission success from tonight's launch, Peter Beck, CEO of Rocket Lab, declared in a post-launch tweet. In contrast to the company's typical transparency, details of the payload on board HASTE and other specifics, including peak altitude and speed, were kept under wraps. Even the launch itself was unannounced until an airspace restriction was published by the Federal Aviation Administration and an ambiguous tweet from NASA's Wallops Flight Facility. This secretive approach was a stark departure from previous launches, which were broadcasted and publicized well in advance. The Haste vehicle was announced in April, requiring only minor modifications from the standard Electron design, such as reinforcing structures. Beck anticipated robust demand for hypersonic testing and targets from the Defense Department, promising never-before-seen accuracy, cost-effectiveness, and frequency. Owing to the similarity with the standard Electron, Rocket Lab expects greater economies of scale for Haste. The more vehicles we put through the factory, the cheaper they get, Beck pointed out. Rocket Lab has designated Wallops as the exclusive launch site for Haste. In a post-launch statement, David Pierce, director of NASA's Wallops Flight Facility, described Wallops as perfectly suited for such missions. Rocket Lab projected a total of 15 Electron launches in 2023, including both orbital and Haste missions. Well, that brings us to the end of our program for today. We hope you found this dive into the latest happenings at SpaceX and Rocket Lab informative and interesting. To support our channel and access exclusive content, consider becoming a patron by following the link in our description below. Your passion for space exploration and generosity are what drive us. As always, this is Sean from Fintricity. Until next time, keep looking up.